received by different regions of the cortex, more than 30 regions of the cortex to be processed. The sound that we hear is also like that. That sound, the sound we hear is received and translated into electrical signals. And first, they go to an area a little bit below of the occipital lobe. And then transfer to many areas of the cortex, and finally transfer to the parietal lobe. And we become aware of that. So whether it is sound or image or touch or smell, well, all of them are translated into electrical signals so that the mind can receive and process. Very, very complicated. That is why Vasubandhu said that, well, the processing of stored consciousness is not something that mind consciousness can have access to. And that is why we believe in what the Buddha said in the Diamond Sutra. All conditioned dharmas are like a dream, are like magical things, are like water bubbles, are like mere images, are like a drop of dew, are like electricity, electric signals, nhất thiết hữu vi pháp, như mộng huyễn bảo ảnh, như lộ diệt như điển. These are examples that Buddha used. So like a dream. Like magical performances. Like water bubbles. Like reflected image. Like dew, and like electric flashing. And dear one, you have to train to look at them like that. That is what the Buddha said. And because of that, we don't believe that what we perceive is what is really out there, objectively, but the construction, the mental construction of our consciousness, and that the nature of it is the nature of mental construction. What we conceive to be personalities, people, Atma, what we conceive to be entities, Dharma, are just mental constructions evolving in many ways, but they are all manifestation from consciousness. That is the first verse of the 30th verse on consciousness offered by the teacher Vasubandhu. And knowing that the world we live in is parakalpita, we should be careful and we practice looking deeply in order to discover the nature of interbeing. Because if we look deeply into the world of mental construction, we can touch the nature of interbeing. Paratantra. Svabhava. Y tha khởi từ tánh. The nature of Paratantra. Paratantra means leaning on each other, depending on each other in order to manifest. You cannot be by yourself. You have to interbe with everything else. Like a flower can never be by herself alone. A flower has to rely on many non-flower elements in order to be able to manifest. And that is why when we look at the flower, we don't see an entity, a separate entity. If we see it as an entity, and then we are still in the parakalpita world. And when we look at a person like our father, our mother, our sister, our partner, and if we see as an Atma, a self, and then we are still in the world of parakalpita. And that is why using mind consciousness in order to focus on these so-called selves and dharmas in order to discover the nature of paratantra. Empty inside. Empty as a self. Empty as an entity. And for that, you need the energy of mindfulness and concentration. You live your day mindfully. Anything you come in touch with, you look deeply. You are not fooled anymore by its appearance. You are not caught in the world of paravikalpita. And yet you are capable of seeing that they are devoid of any solid entity, any solid cells. Looking into the sun, you see the father and the mother and the ancestors. And you see the sun is not a separate entity. Looking into yourself, your suffering, your happiness, you don't see that it's a you, it is yourself. You are a continuation. And that is to learn how to see everything in the light of interdependence, interbeing. Everything is basing on everything else in order to manifest. And slowly you see that the notion of one and of many vanish. Scientists like nuclear scientists like David Bohm, well, he also practiced looking deeply.